Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals. This is an exciting edition. Training camp is underway, but we don't really have anything to talk about there. So we're going to be focusing more on what happened with the media conversation yesterday. And Burns is losing his mind because I hit a button. Sorry, Burnsy. Please forgive
But I
me.
want to
No,
click.
it's not you. It was.
Let me click the
It's
button.
not about the button. Please shut up and let me talk. It's not about the button. It's the lagging. I was already lagging.
Is
We'll blame
it
it on lag.
already lagging on your end? Oh, sorry. No, I think we're good.
Mike, you're making it worse.
I
I'm
thought
just
the
trying to
Fort
click the
Knox
button.
Wi-Fi would be better, when you're away from Alabama. But who knows?
It's what is this spectrum? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
So
as good.
basically, what you're telling me is anywhere you are for duties or whatnots,
I'm the problem.
you are. You are. It's you.
It's the government.
You're the problem. It's you. At least
It's
you're not using Sniper Hill. For anyone listening who knows what that is, it's horrible. Sniper Hill Internet's like your downrange internet provider. Awful. Absolutely awful. Anyways, we digressed already. We didn't even make it through the intro, guys. That's probably a new record for getting off the rails. I'm proud of us. Pat us on the back for that one. That was good. Good job, guys. Go team. But anyway, we got Nick and Burnsy here tonight. We got some, camp battles we want to talk about. We have the contract holdouts, which is our favorite topic we've talked about for the entire offseason, feels like. But Zach, you start us off tonight. Where do you want to go?
Well, let's talk about Trey Hendrickson in Florida. And Diana Rossini had an exclusive comment with him, and they were talking about it, that he decided to go back to Jacksonville after being in Cincinnati for 30 days. As training camp approached, he and his wife decided to leave. They received 2 offers in the last 24 hours, none containing guarantees past the first year that he was looking for. Hendrickson didn't want to hear practice whistles while being a distraction to his teammates, so he and his wife decided to pack up and head back to Florida. Down in Jacksonville, Hendrickson continued to train, hoping that a deal can be worked out. And he says, quoted, "I was more than willing to take it less in some ways in order to make it work." That's interesting. How do you guys feel about that little quote there?
Well, I'll jump straight into the Mike Brown comment that he made to the media, which, if you listen to other podcasts, which we're not offended if you do, it's totally fine. We do as well. You get good information from the actual reporters. We're not licensed, credentialed media members. That's not a shock to anybody. But listen to them sometimes you get good insight. And Paul Danner Jr. was talking about how Mike Brown basically said, the Trey Hendrickson thing will work itself out. He's a little bit of an emotional guy, and he just gets a little uppity, but he's going to show up. So they're not even worried about it. So Trey Hendrickson's trying to make a big scene, but that's never worked for any of the big free agents. Didn't work at all for Jesse Bates. T. Higgins was the most compliant. He was like, hey, I'll sign a franchise tag, no problem, no issue. Worked out well for him. So maybe there's a trend to don't fight the team. Maybe. But it is what it is. I mean, we all knew exactly what interstate he was on this morning. Like, yeah, I-10. Okay, fun there. But anyways, digressing. Yeah, Mike Brown. They don't care. Trey Hendrickson can just puff up as much as he wants. They're not going to react.
So I mean, here's the deal. He needs to realize he's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to realize that yes, he's a good pass rusher, but that's about all he brings on the defensive side. Is pass rushing. If he wants more money, he has to make more of a complete game around being able to be a good tackler in the open field with, a running back who's going to try to make a miss. Mm-hmm. I saw way too many times last year where he missed an open field tackle on a running back. That's where the money is not coming that he thinks he should be getting, in my opinion. Yes, he's a great pass rusher. If not the best, one of the best in the league. But it doesn't bring a complete game every time he comes onto the field. You just know you're getting a good pass rush. So the other team's passing the ball, Trey Hendrickson's going to come close, if not get to the quarterback every time. I think that he is stuck on the fact that all these other edge rushers are getting big time money, and he's not. And he wants all these guarantees, but what he's not understanding is objectivity and his legit value.
No, absolutely. And I was trying to quickly just look up how many pressures he had last year. Because I know the sacks, that's the easy one, 17 and a half sacks. But I want to see how many pressures he had because I'm trying to bring home a point here. So, Zach, if you got anything else you want to add to this before I get my fact out here, go ahead.
Yeah, while you're fact checking everything right now, I thought it was funny that Nick said that he couldn't get to the running backs very well. And the immediate thing I thought about was Trey Hendrickson not getting to Lamar Jackson because let's call it a spade a spade. He's a running back playing the quarterback position.
Yeah, I mean, dead serious. And anybody who is not Lamar Jackson, he does really well.
Yeah.
And Daniels, they played really well against Trey Hendrickson because they could move.
Yep.
I mean, you even get someone like Joe Burrow in the back, at quarterback, and put Trey on the other side of that. I don't think that he gets to Joe Burrow.
So,
I also find it interesting that I can't seem to find how many dropbacks that Trey even takes in zone coverage and how many plays he's made. I couldn't even count them on one hand how many times I've seen him actually make a play in zone coverage.
So here's the interesting stat that I was going for. 17 and a half sacks. We all know that, and that's thrown in our face constantly. Huge. So 18 plays. He did something really big on 18 plays. 92 total quarterback pressures. 19 solo tackles that were not sacks. So it was 128.5, plays out of his season where he made some kind of difference. Do you know how many total snaps he took last year? 825. So 15, rounded up, give him 16. 16% of the time he's on the field, he had some sort of impact on the play. Now, that may be big, that may be small. I just know his stat off the top of my head, but that seems like not a major factor. And I mean, I'll have to do out stats later, and we talk about another show how TJ Watt and Myles Garrett and other players like that compare. But 16% of the time, that doesn't seem like a big impact to be wanting the kind of money that he wants.
Maybe that's what the Brown and Blackburn families are considering right now, is that you see that 16% comparative to TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. Again, I don't have those stats, and I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole either. But yeah, it's an interesting thought.
I mean, 'cause to me, there has to be a bigger amount of productivity. And when you think about total play disruptors, not pass disruptors, not anything like that, but total play disruptors or play wreckers, game wreckers, whatever you want to call them, you don't really think of Trey Hendrickson as much. You think of him as he's going to get a sack, but he's not a Watt or a Garrett. It kills me because those guys are in our division, or an Aaron Donald, different position, but same kind of game wrecking abilities. That can do it all. He's not a can do it all guy.
I actually have stats.
Ooh, holy crap! Nick has stats.
Talking about pressures. So Trey Hendrickson's 85 pressures was most in the league last year. The closest one was 71, and that was Jared Verse. Will McDonald, the fourth, at 70. And then you had Zach Allen, Myles Garrett, and Micah Parsons at 69. So, I mean, I think he has an argument. And when we're talking about rushing the passer, I think he has an argument there. But where I think that he really drops is simply just open field tackling on anybody who's a skilled player.
So Myles Garrett had 40 solo tackles compared to Trey Hendrickson's 19. So the pass percentage is there, but even just looking at Myles Garrett, like big drop off in total, what they provide.
Look at another guy in that Nick just brought up is Micah Parsons. He's out there trying to get a contract extension as well. Where is he in those talks? Not necessarily for the contract, but in comparison for the stats. I know he talked about the pressures, but how much of a disruption does he play? Because we always hear on the national media, because it's the Cowboys, oh, Micah Parsons this, Micah Parsons that, and he's a fantastic and incredible athlete. I'm just curious at this point, since we're talking about it.
Yeah, we might as well just go down the stat rabbit hole here because we don't have a lot of camp news to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to keep looking because this is getting ridiculous.
Dead air time right now. So no, we're not going to do dead air time. I can fill dead air while they're looking into things. So just some quick math. Looking at Myles Garrett, he is an 18%. So maybe my stat really doesn't matter that much because he had an 18% impact on plays. So maybe Trey has more of an argument than we thought about. It is what it is. But talk about the Ring of Honor a little bit while they're looking up some stats. The two guys that got in, Dave Lapham, Lamar Parrish, well-deserved, fantastic for both of them. We love Lapp on this show. He is just a Cincinnati institution. Can't say anything bad about the guy. I mean, he's somebody, he'd never come on the show, but if we could have him on the show, we'd love to. Because he's just, the stories, I bet, are great. It's him and Sean Casey are probably 1 and 2 if we want on this show, purely for the stories aspect, because it'd be epic. Absolutely epic. So, I mean, Lamar Parrish is an underrated player and for modern Bengals fans because we didn't get to see him play. If you don't follow the team very closely, in that era, you're going to think Ken Riley instead of Lamar Parrish because you didn't see them both play at the same time. And Ken Riley is a fantastic Hall of Famer for a reason. But having Lamar Parrish on the other side with quarterbacks afraid to throw to him, that definitely helps you get more interceptions.
Yeah, so I have a pretty good stat there. Essentially, he's either ranked around 6 or 7 out of the top edge rushers in the league. The other edge rushers above him already got their big deals. So, I mean, the edge rushers that are ranked above him, Myles Garrett, Parsons, Watt, Bosa, Crosby, and Hutchinson. I don't even know who Hutchinson is, but he was ranked above them.
Hutchinson's the dude from Detroit.
Okay, so he's pretty good. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Trey overall, right? His win rate is crazy, right? His ability to get to the quarterback is great, but he is a passing down defensive end. That's where he falls short.
He absolutely does fall short in that category. And I mean, let's talk about another defensive end that's falling short right now, and that's our first-round pick who's not doing much of anything. And another person that Duke Tobin and Mike Brown were not shy about saying how they felt that it's ridiculous that he's not coming to agreement. Apparently the money was agreed upon a long time ago. So this has nothing to do with money. It's about guarantees and contract language and why a rookie thinks that they should have any say over what contract language is when you've never played a snap. And I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of options. That's what's ridiculous at that point. The Bengals own the rights to him. He's participated in pro activities, even though it's just showing up and doing a physical. So I don't even think he's eligible to go back to college. He could sit out the entire year and then re-enter the draft. And if that's what your agent is telling you to do, hopefully somebody in your camp is smart enough to say, you need to listen to somebody else. Because that's what Duke Tobin and Mike Brown were hinting at.
I mean, I agree with him. I mean, I think we all agree with him, with Duke Tobin and Mike Brown. I mean, it's foolish to think, you're a brand new rookie. Honestly, you got drafted way above where you should have been drafted. And on top of that, you want guaranteed money for 4 years? I mean, Mike Brown is 100% right. Why would I pay somebody guaranteed money when I don't have guaranteed performance?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we just drafted you out of college and you haven't proven yourself in the NFL yet. why would I say that I'm going to guarantee you so much money when, the clause that you're arguing about is if you get arrested and go to jail for 4 years, you still have the guaranteed money? Like, come on, that's just dumb. Like, if you screw up bad enough to where you're going to jail, that's just dumb. Like, you should not be guaranteed money at that point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The guy's never been in trouble a day in his life, and that's what everybody keeps reporting. So why are you scared that kind of verbiage is in your contract? Because if you come in, you put in the work ethic, you're still going to get your money. So what is the problem?
It's his agent.
That's what I don't
It's gotta be his
understand.
agent.
But
It doesn't make any sense. It has to be his
So-
agent who's telling him to hold out. And he's following bad advice because instead of getting paid and going out and playing football, the man's sitting out and he's not getting paid.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, could you imagine a brand new employee coming to you and be like, "Well, I'm actually not going to start showing up to work until, my agreement is totally guaranteed and all this stuff like that." So one, he's not going to have a good year. I'm going to go ahead and call it. He has done nothing to prepare himself for the NFL, and whenever he shows up, or if he never shows up, he's going to start terrible. He's going to be very slow. He doesn't know the system. He doesn't know what's going on. So his rookie year is already a wash. So that is 1 year out of your 4 years that you basically have sacrificed. So second problem, do the Bengals even want to negotiate with him when his contract's up? They may be like, nah, we're good. And two, you've shown, or three, sorry, geez, I can't even count. I'm frustrated on this one. Three, you have shown the rest of the NFL that you're a pain. You're an absolute pain to deal with, and that you're going to, nitpick over silly stuff. So why is another team going to want to take a chance on you unless you're an all-pro caliber player, which you're going to have a crappy first year because you weren't ready to go? You got a lot to prove in 3 years.
I mean, I'm just going to jump right on that bandwagon right with you, Casey.
Bam.
I mean, I think you're spot on. I think that this is us just only showing his backside and just showing how difficult he's going to be with contract negotiations moving forward. Even if the Bengals were able to strike a deal with him as agent. I mean, quite honestly, after that deal is done, does he even play in the NFL anymore?
Probably still play, but I mean, is he going to get any kind of deal he wants to get, or is he going to be that camp body type person, or a third tier, third wave free agent? Because people don't want to spend big money on a guy like that.
People don't want to spend money on a guy like that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot of negativity about the two edge rushers that we were hoping that we were going to have starting this year. I'm going to spin it to Cam Sample and Miles Murphy and getting first team reps. Well, how do you guys feel about that? I'm excited.
Miles Murphy, I'm excited about. I mean, Cam Sample was nearly cut before he got injured last year, so that doesn't make me feel overly comfortable. But hey, maybe he can show something. I'd really prefer Joseph Osai since we just re-signed him. Step up into that starting role because he at least has flashed. Where Cam Sample's been like, I'm a really good fifth or sixth option. You're like, okay, buddy, thanks for being on the team. We'll use you when we need you, but if we run him out there on opening day, scary.
I mean, I'm going to have to agree. I hate to agree with Casey so much because most of the time we'll disagree. We really are two different types of people, but I think we're in the same boat with this one as well. I would rather see Joseph Osai out there. I think the contract that we just signed there with Joseph Osai is kind of a big deal. I think this is just my mindset. I think Al Golden is trying to prove a point. Like, just because you get a contract doesn't mean that you're going to have a starting role. You got to earn it. So maybe it's pushing Joseph Osai to work harder and really show that he's the guy. I mean, heck, who knows? It might turn out to be for the best. A lot of times, what we think is hurting us actually turns out to make us better. So,
Yeah, and we need Miles Murphy to play like he is a first-round pick. That'd be great. We've seen zero return on that investment either. We talked about how they couldn't draft offensive line. Well, Amarius Mims has proved that wrong, at least so far. But now they can't draft defensive line. So
I think that we're overly critical on the Bengals just because we've been fans since the early 90s. And we have seen a lot of really bad drafting. So I think that we're overly critical. I don't think that we give enough credit where credit is due, simply because of the overcritical nature of being a Bengals fan for so long.
you know what? Here it comes. The disagreement. Absolutely not. No. I'm not going with that. Because you know how many players we could have picked instead of Miles Murphy? He wasn't even on people's radar for the Bengals to take on. It's like, and Miles Murphy. And same thing for Shamar Stewart. There was 3 better defensive ends that were available. That I'm like, yes, they're going to get. I'm like, who the heck is Shamar Stewart? So, I mean, those are where you have to question, like, there's better quality of athletes. Jackson Carman's another one. You missed out on 3 quality guards because you traded back and got Jackson Carman. That worked out so well for us. And John Ross, need I say more?
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
The 2020
AJ
draft.
Green,
AJ Green.
So now, okay. So what you're saying is, if they have a top 5,
Chad Johnson.
if they have a top 5 pick, they can make it work. Except for Chad Johnson, second round pick. But yeah, if they have a top 5 pick in the last, okay, so we're going to go this route. All right, fine. I'll play this game. Let's go the last 20 years. Because guess
Corey
what?
Dillon.
John was drafted before 20 years. Hush was drafted before 20 years. Like, they're all early 2000s. The only draft that they have done fantastic on in the last decade is the 2020 draft, when they had the first pick of every single round. Hard to screw it up when you get to pick whoever you want.
Well,
And
when
then
you
the
suck that bad, you deserve to get the first round pick every round.
100%. So any pick, but all of your things you're talking about is, let's say first round picks. Any pick on pick number 5, hot garbage or decent at best. John Ross, hot garbage. Jonah Williams, okay. Wouldn't call him hot garbage. Billy Price was hot garbage. I mean, if you look at the track record, once you get beyond Burrow and Chase, there's not really a whole lot of people you're like, that was a great first-round pick. Amarius Mims, I'm hoping we say at the end of this year, great first-round pick. But that'd be, 3 picks out of 10 years that you'd be like, this guy was great. I'm so glad we drafted him. And the other 7 first-round picks are probably not even in the league anymore. So, yeah, not a great track record. I'm so right that Nick actually up and left. Put that on the record, ladies and gentlemen. Nick has bowed out gracefully. So Burnsy's going to come back with something.
I'm
Negative
looking
Ghost
something.
Rider. Kathleen decided that she was going to cut onions at the particular part of the table that I was on, and I had to wash my hands.
I thought you were just going to start crying.
My good sir, are wrong. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't feel like arguing.
All right. So last 20 years, first round picks, Shamar Stewart. We see where this is going. Mims last year, pretty decent pick. Miles Murphy, MIA. Dax Hill. At first, we were like, what are we doing? But then he was really coming into that corner position last year before the ACL tear.
Yeah, not
So
enough.
I'm okay with that one.
Yet, though. So we'll call him the jury's still out.
Okay. Obviously, Chase and Burrow, we obviously hit home runs on those ones. Jonah Hill, Billy Price, John Ross, William Jackson III.
A lot of fizzle.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Cedric Boogie. I can never say his name.
Oh boy.
Ugga Booga.
Oh gosh, you're just making me look smart right now, Zach. It's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Darquez Denard.
Never really panned out. He was a slot at
That
best.
Tyler Eifert was really hot until the injuries came.
So we got like 4 so far out of these 4 that are
Okay.
good or decent.
Okay, here you go. This one is a half. 2012. Do you remember the 2 picks at 17 and 27?
Oh gosh, 2012.
Whoa.
One was it
Wasn't Andy, was it?
Drake or Patrick? Was that one of
Yep.
them? Oh, who would be
Yeah,
the
that's
other
one. That was 17.
Was it Reggie Nelson?
I'll give you a hint. We really wanted to bring him back this year.
Oh, Bates?
Oh no, the guard, Zeitler.
Yep.
Kevin
Everybody
Zeitler.
kept saying we need to bring Zeitler back. Bring him back. Bring him back.
I would have taken it. So yeah, so I will call
All right.
Zeitler a good one, Kirkpatrick a bust.
Burnt toast. All right. 2011, AJ Green. 2010, Jermaine Gresham. I thought that worked out for at least 3 years.
Well, Fumble Gresham, as we used to call him, because every time he had a critical play, he'd fumble.
Here you go. Here's another Alabama guy for you. Andre Smith, 2009.
I don't even know who that is.
He's been around. He came back to the Bengals like 20 times and was a rotational tackle, but not really what
Okay.
you expect from a first rounder.
Yeah.
So he was a backup.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
No,
That's why I don't-
well, I mean, he was a starter, and then, he just let Andy Dalton get killed every other week.
Yeah, he was a quasi-starter that Mike
all right.
Williams loved.
Yeah. And then
All right.
2008, Keith Rivers.
Got killed by Hines Ward. So we don't know. He could have been a great player until he got murdered.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
worth
here's
30
an interesting
football
fact I didn't realize. I did not realize this, but 2007, 2006, and 2005, the Bengals did not have a first-round pick.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that either.
Our sample size right now in 20 years is 17. Well, 18, I guess, because we had that 2 picks in the first round.
Do you know why they
Patrick
didn't have
and
their
Zeitler.
first-round pick? That's what I'm curious about. Why didn't they have a first-round pick?
I have no idea. Oh, did we trade out?
Maybe, but I mean that seems like a lot to trade out. No, 2005 it was David Pollock at 17 overall. Major injury, so his career didn't quite pan out.
That was sad.
2006. Who did we have? I guess the 2006 they were. Yeah, you're right. They're out on that one. 2005, if we're going a full 20 years, was David Pollock. Pick 24, Jonathan Joseph in 2006.
I like that pick, though.
That's a good one. That is definitely a good pick. I'll take that one. Second round pick was even better than Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah.
And then let's see, 07.
JoJo was great in Cincinnati. He had a better career in Houston, if you want my honest opinion.
He did.
Yeah. And then 2007 was Leon Hall.
See, I liked
Why
Hall.
did this not?
Yeah, David Pollock, injury ruined his career. He could have been great. Jonathan Joseph, solid pick. Leon Hall could have been an all-time great if it wasn't for injuries because he had all of the skills and abilities you wanted in a corner. And to say that he would still probably be one of your best slot corners in the history of the franchise is a high compliment, but the guy really could have been great. So those are actually 3 of their best first-round picks because, Pollock could have been great. Hall was a good contributor, and Joseph was a good player. So,
And you had Big Wit.
yes. Now, see, I'm trying to figure out when did they draft Chris Perry? I think he was a second-round pick.
2000. Palmer was 03, right?
Yeah.
Or 02.
Oh, he was.
It was the year after Palmer.
He was 04. Because he only sat for 1 year.
Yeah, he sat.
Yeah, for 1 year. And then he came and played. Let's see, Chris Footsteps Perry, as I like to call him. Because he definitely just fumbled the ball. I mean, he could have been great, but he fumbled the ball every opportunity that he had. Let's see. It's hard to even find stats on this guy.
Chris Perry joined in 2004.
2004, was he second round? No, he was the 17th overall pick of the Bengals in 2004. Yeah. Wow. That blows your mind right there.
All right. So let's just put it this way. Historically speaking, when the Bengals don't draft top, 5, 6, first round sucks.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
Okay. Barring Amarius Mims.
And a few decent corners in the mid-2000s.
A few decent picks every once in a while, but primarily not very good.
Man, that's something we definitely run at some point next offseason, because hopefully we're getting more into training camp, preseason, and season games. But next offseason, maybe we'll do a full rundown of comparing every position and every slot in the draft, because we have nothing better to do because it's the offseason. But that's not for me.
Yeah, how about let's talk about the ability to acquire talent from outside the organization, bringing it in, and about the lack thereof.
I was going to say,
I don't like where you're going with this one. I think you're taking us down another dark rabbit hole.
No, I mean, name one player that the Bengals have brought in from another team. Like they traded for, well, they haven't traded for it. They brought him in free agency and signed him, and they actually turned out to be a really good pickup.
In what time frame?
We'll go the whole time you've been a fan.
BJ Hill. Traded Billy Price for BJ Hill. Fantastic sign. DJ Reader.
Okay.
Von Bell the first time.
Out.
Yeah, Von Bell the first time, not the second time.
Okay. And then Trey Hendrickson.
Yep, that's another good one there.
So there's 4.
And recent memory, 4.
Okay. I think that's the Bengals' biggest area of opportunity.
No. Hold on. Can't forget about my guy Kappa.
Yeah,
okay.
Karras.
I like Kappa and Karras.
Yeah, Karras Kappa before he fell off. Karras still good. And then Hayden Hurst. I'm going to go to bat for Hayden Hurst on this one. I thought he was a really good tight end pickup.
So we're talking about
Gesicki.
Oh yeah, Mike Gesicki, Mikey G, yeah.
So we're talking about single digits here. Now let's look at any other organization in the NFL, and we talk about good pickups and trades. Right? Think about how many players the Patriots were able to trade or pick up. Think about how many players that we'll say the Steelers or the Ravens or Los Angeles, or just name an organization that has been some form of winning in the past 20 years. Right? The biggest area of opportunity for the Bengals looking to win a Super Bowl is to pick up already established players by trading up-and-coming players and potential draft picks to get players who are already established.
I see this as a double-edged sword on this one, but I'm going to agree with you on part of it because, the Bengals, I was like, we're never going to go all in. And we lost in the Super Bowl to who? The Rams. That went all in. Yeah. And they said, well, when you go all in, your team is going to be garbage for several years. Guess who was in the playoffs last year? The Rams. Guess who was not in the playoffs last year? The Bengals. So I think the logic there of we don't go all in is flawed because the other thing that gets me is, yeah, you want to be a sustained winner for a long time, but give us a Super Bowl win. If you get that win that one year, you have some goodwill from the fans for a
A
while at
decade.
least. Yeah, I don't know if I go at least half a decade. Like, hey, we're gonna figure this out. It's okay. But the fact that you're like, no, no, we want to continue to be competitive. Competitive doesn't mean crap if you're not winning. If you don't
Exactly.
win Super Bowls, what's the point of being competitive? You turn into the freaking Steelers. And that, I mean, yes, they've won Super Bowls, and their fans are like, we have so many rings, blah blah blah. Yeah, but for the last decade plus, you've sucked. You've been the most middling team in the NFL. Good job making the playoffs every year to get your teeth kicked in. And so yeah, I don't know what your argument would be there.
So the other thing that I think about it from that point is you brought up the Steelers and you brought up the Patriots and comparing to wanting to go to those organizations versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And you have to look at the head of those teams at the head coach. And you had Bill Belichick and you have Mike Tomlin, right? You have probably one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time and Belichick. And you have the players coach in Tomlin. And then you've had Marvin Lewis and Zach Taylor. I think the book is still out on Taylor, depending on how this season goes. The teams that is here loves him, but you know he can't. He doesn't compare to the other two, in my personal opinion. Marvin Lewis, he was fiery at times. He was a player's coach at times. He was so inconsistent with his own structure that I think that's why we had so many either losing seasons or 8-8 seasons with him. And yeah, it's just going to be an interesting thing.
Yeah, that would be
So,
interesting.
Casey, what other topics did you have in mind?
I figured we were going to go off season. I was going to put Zach on the spot and make him pick an off season topic because it's more fun to see Zach squirm.
Oh,
I like it.
all right. Off-season topic. Let's see. Let's talk about baseball because we love baseball on this podcast. And I just don't understand how the Cincinnati Reds still have yet to figure out to beat bad teams. But Colorado, they won 2 of those games. Yes, I get it, but they should have never even that should have been one of the 20-1 games,
Yeah.
right? All 3 of those games. It didn't happen. They just lost back to back to the Nationals. What? But then there, and you flip it on the other side. It's like it's almost like apples to apples between the Bengals and the Reds. You play really bad against bad teams, and you play really decent or good against the good teams. You swept the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you went to Boston and lost 2 out of 3, but you keep up with Chicago. You know, there's playoff caliber teams that they're playing really well against, and in the bottom half, bro, they dog water.
Yeah.
They play really decent against good teams.
Well, they hold their own, is what he's saying. Leave them alone. I get where you're going with that, Bernsey. But
I love it. That's a good word choice.
I don't understand. If I was a starting pitcher on the Reds, I would probably be beaning my own players in the dugout while I'm pitching or turn around and hit them. Because if I give up 1 to 2 runs and I lose the ball game, that's on the offense. The pitcher did their job giving up 1 to 2 runs. Now, when they come out there and give up like 15 runs to a bad team, that's on the pitcher. But you have to be able to manufacture runs. And that's something I was hoping that Terry Francona would get back to a little bit, is some more small ball. It's not sexy. It's not, chicks dig the long ball, all that stuff, whatever. Runs matter. That's how you win the game. It's very plain and simple. Get people on base, get them over, get them in. If you have less than 2 outs and a guy on third, and I've seen the Reds probably do it at least 20 times this year, less than 2 outs, guy on third. Your only job is to either hit it up the middle to a deep part of the field, get it to the second baseman, shortstop, or put it somewhere in the outfield deep enough where that guy can score. You're not trying to hit home runs. You're not trying to hit a double. You're literally putting the ball in play to knock the third baseman or the first baseman or the pitcher. That's all you have to do. But no, we don't do that. Or heaven forbid you bunt. I've not seen a suicide squeeze from the Reds in, 15, 20 years?
Shout out to Coach Wilhoit.
Sure.
My college coach would be rolling over right now, man. He's probably thinking, guys, it ain't that hard. You put the bat out and you let the ball hit the bat. You just catch it. You just catch it with the bat. It's not hard. Oh my God, dude. Like, seriously, you got a man on first base, you're down by a run. 8th inning, no outs. Leadoff hitter just got on base. What do? You either bunt him over or hit and run. It's baseball.
Pretty basic.
Yeah, it's baseball.
I mean,
Terry Francona, I thought was going to be a little bit more aggressive than what he is, especially with looking to try to win ball games.
I mean, it's funny that baseball is an antiquated game. Baseball never changes. That's what they always say. But baseball at its heart was not a home run game. The home run was, exciting when it happened, but it's meant to be for sustained rallies. And that's what anybody who actually has ever watched baseball, home runs kill rallies. That is the biggest rally killer of them all. Yeah, you might have gotten 3 runs, but if you're in the middle of a sustained rally, you can get 6, 10, 12. They start adding up quick because it gets in the pitcher's head. There's still guys on base. There's still threats going on. As soon as you hit a home run, threat's over. Yeah. It's a brand new inning.
Like solo home runs, you might as well just count the inning over. It's just you're going to get 3 outs. It's just it's what it is. Leadoff batter gets a home run. Well, we only got to run this inning, guys. Let's go out and play the field. How many years of baseball did we play? And
a lot.
How many years of baseball have we watched? I mean, it's almost every single time. Almost every single time.
Look, I'm probably gonna lose viewers for saying this, but I just like to point out that Elly De La Cruz has still yet to hit a game winner, anything, in his time here. And I would also like to point out that if it is the 7th, 8th, or 9th, I think he's like top 3 in strikeouts. He's electric. He's a fantastic ball player, but you get into late in those innings, he has not performed, especially when you need him the most. But you put a guy, again, Casey's going to hate me for this, a guy like Joey Votto out there, he's found ways to drive runs in and get guys home and play not just the small ball, but he's played the long ball too. Elly hasn't found a way to do that in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning.
With his speed, what he has to do is just get the bat on the ball.
But I'm going to surprise Zach. Zach's going to be shocked by this statement. He should stop being a switch hitter. I think a switch hitter in today's modern baseball is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. If you can hit from one side of the plate and your split is not almost identical from the other side of the plate. Now, if you can do it, if you're a 300 hitter from the left side and the right side, bro, you do whatever you want. But when your split is a more than 80-point difference from one side of the plate to the other side of the plate, just stay on the good side of the plate. It doesn't make any sense to be switching back and forth. Could you imagine if somebody told Ken Griffey Jr. that, like, hey, dude, you're doing fantastic as a lefty, but we want you to also be a righty? No, you don't do that. Let him just do what he does. Let him stay in the left side of the batter's box and let him start crushing the ball. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, when you see that big of a difference, I mean, look at Pete Rose when he was switch hitting. I mean, what was he like? 15 points off? Like 0.015 off?
Very slight difference. Yeah, then you can do whatever the heck you want.
I mean, but he's also the hit king, so nobody's going to touch that record because he could hit from both sides of the plate equally as good. Maybe not for power as good, but he was getting on base about the same amount of times.
Zach looks like he's about to explode with something. Go ahead, Zach.
Nope. I'm just going to stay out of the Pete Rose conversation.
If you say Ichiro, I will say I love Ichiro. He's a great player. But being the only person of us three to actually witness Japanese baseball live, it's not the same game. It's not at all.
No, it's not. It's not. I would agree with you because I've watched the 3 a.m. games before. Okay, just because you've seen it live, I've watched it on the TV.
It's a different experience, Zach.
I can't find a sleep. Well, I understand. It's the same thing as going to opening day. It's a different experience at the stadium versus watching it on the TV. But it is what it is. Ichiro is a fantastic hitter. I'm not disagreeing with that statement. Ichiro just didn't have the longevity and the career length that Pete Rose had, and I think that's why Pete Rose's hit record is not going to get touched because guys aren't playing 3 decades.
Guys aren't even playing.
But he was Mr. Consistent because, yeah.
Anyways, new topic.
We digress.
Casey, you pick a new topic.
Ooh, new topic.
Put you on the spot now, Baldy.
Ooh. That was so good there. Not sure how much we're going to recover from that one. Graybeard, just watch yourself a little bit. But anyways, Zach, talk to us about your swag.
Oh, just trying to sample some stuff out. Got a nice Burn Z jersey.
So, Nick, where's your tie?
Yeah, where's your tie, Nick?
Yeah, Nick, where's your tie?
I didn't want to look like Peter Griffin. That's why I'm not wearing a tie. Zach ordered them for the small people, and I'm a big and tall.
So, you know what?
You just got to know how to tie the tie.
So, off-season topic, best long-running cartoon series, like adult-aimed cartoon series. So let's see what you got.
It's kind of a toss-up between The Simpsons and Family Guy. I mean, both are classics. Family Guy for the humor. I think Family Guy is probably the funniest of them all.
I'm going to throw in a wild card here that you all might not agree with. Bob's Burgers is my favorite long-running cartoon. Love Bob's Burgers. It's hilarious. It's great.
See, that's where we differ. I don't find it funny at all.
SpongeBob for the adults these days?
Bluey.
Don't even get me started on that show. We're not going there again. But I'm not a Simpsons guy. I don't really think The Simpsons is very funny. It's okay at best.
So I feel the same way about Family Guy, and I feel the same way about South Park. Is those 3 were really funny when we were younger, and as time has gone on, they've just okay, cool. Yep. I don't find Seth MacFarlane that funny anymore. I thought Family Guy in the first, up until maybe 2010, 2011 was really funny. And then it just it's the same thing. It's the same splits, things like that. Simpsons wanted to compete with him, so they started doing more, cut scenes and all that other crap. Whatever. And then, South Park, I mean, it has moments, but I couldn't tell you the last time I've actually sat down. I think it was like season 13. But now, being a dad of almost 4,
of almost
we get
4.
Sonic and
You got 4.
Yeah, almost 4. Well, I mean, but the baby's not watching anything yet because the baby's not here. So, but yeah.
So what is your favorite long-standing cartoon show?
See, I don't know because I don't.
King of the Hill.
I like The Office. Ooh, King of the Hill, and it's getting revamped. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I
King of the
like
Hill is
that.
a classic.
I'm really excited to see Bobby all grown up and Hank trying to deal with millennials and Gen Z. That's going to be really awesome.
That'd be funny.
So propane and propane accessories. Dang it,
No,
Bobby.
he's retired and retired accessories.
He does think about a thing or two.
I mean, so they tried to revamp, like Ren and Stimpy. That it wasn't as funny. I'm trying to think of what else they tried to revamp that didn't go over as well. It was oh my gosh, it just freaking just left me. There was another one, Beavis and Butthead. MTV tried to bring that one back. That didn't go very well either.
Well, I mean, that'd be like
Although
revamping
hilarious
right now.
in its heyday.
That'd be like revamping The Office.
Yeah.
Those were funny because they were funny, right? They made fun of everything. And literally, the more uncomfortable and the more inappropriate it was, the funnier it was.
See, and that's something that has me worried.
People get too offended nowadays.
But the revamping, well, one's just another season after a couple of years of Ted Lasso, which I'm excited about because it was basically in the PC era and it was still funny. But they're revamping Scrubs. And I'm like, Scrubs was hilarious because of inappropriate stuff and things that aren't going to be PC in modern times. So I'm really worried. Like, one, I don't think Dr. Cox is going to be there, but you can't just sit here and call a male person ladies' names anymore, and that's okay. Or they're going to have to start assuming that they are a her or whatever. And it's like, it takes away the fun of it. It's just don't ruin the show.
Casey.
I don't know how you're going to get around it, but don't ruin the show.
Casey. Eagle!
Chocolate bear. The fact that they're best friends in real life is like the best.
That's just
Jamie
awesome.
and Turk, actually best friends. That's awesome. Anyways, next topic.
I mean, I love that they are best friends in real life, but I am really tired of the T-Mobile commercials of those two.
Who's not in a T-Mobile commercial? Because now Billy Bob Thornton's also in a T-Mobile commercial. So it's like everybody has now been in a T-Mobile commercial. It's ridiculous.
Remember when Saturday Night Live was good? All right. Anyway, Nick, go ahead.
You remember that one time at band camp?
Talk about a series that really fell off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It fell hard. After 2, it was like it hit a cliff.
Got pretty hard to watch. But we still watch them.
All right. I think we've already done it, but favorite football movie?
Yes, we've done this multiple times.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh. All right. We've all done home projects. What has been your favorite home project that you've completed?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Casey.
Favorite home project that I've completed. I'm going to take it a slightly different route and say most proud of, because I hated every second of doing it because it was a pain in the butt nightmare. But I'm very proud of making my daughter a room out of those two, like, a walk-through room, put up a wall, put up a closet, put up a door at the front, which was like a 3-month ordeal because I hate sanding. I literally hate sanding drywall. It's miserable. I'd rather do almost anything else with my time. Maybe just hit myself in the finger with a hammer over and over again. Because no matter what you do, the dust gets everywhere. I literally had the whole room taped, had the shop vac hooked up to the sander, and still dust just everywhere. Just a nightmare. But no, I'm really proud of that, and she loves it, so that worked out well.
And I can vouch for Casey. It looks really good.
Thank you, my good sir.
It looks legitimately like a professional did it. I will vouch for it.
Nicest thing he's ever said to me.
It
At
probably
least
is.
on the podcast.
It probably is the nicest thing I've ever said to him. Anyways, Zach, you go.
Again, same thing. Well, no, I actually enjoyed it. I built a corner shelf in our house in Alabama. I was super sad that I had to leave it because I just didn't have room to move it up here. And I didn't want to tear it apart. And I didn't want it to get broken in transit because we were packed to the brim, boys and girls. So, yeah. So I left it for them. Plus, it was anchored to the wall. Didn't want to patch more holes because, like Casey, I hate sanding. Sanding's stupid. But yeah, I was super proud of that one. I enjoyed every minute of it. Woodworking is actually a lot more fun than people make it out to be. People are like, "Oh, woodworking this, woodworking that." No, it's kind of fun. So
That's the best part. That's the
here's
best
to new
part.
adventures and maybe business adventures.
Yeah. I would say my favorite project and most proud of project to date, because I'm actually working on right now. I redid the back deck on my old house, and I did it up to code. I replaced 6x6 support beam. No, it was up to code. I legit had it inspected.
Nick is a Boy Scout. I just want to put that out there, everybody. Nick is a Boy Scout. He follows all the rules.
If there's a rule, I follow it. So literally ChatGPT and every research item I could find before I start doing something, make sure I follow the rule. So on top of
You say that like you were a cop before.
no, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's not the best CFO in the business for nothing, folks.
So so I put in a new 6x6 beam, and the 6x6 was 16 foot long, quite heavily and quite heavy and quite difficult to maneuver and everything. And thankful for my father-in-law for his help, but I was actually able to do it properly, put up the spindles and the hand railings and properly secure them the way they're supposed to be secured, because the deck that was there before, let's just say it wasn't up to code, and was very easily taken apart. So I spent COVID, thank God for COVID, because I spent like 3 weeks during COVID redoing my back deck and got that taken care of, and actually helped me sell my house for a lot more than what it was worth. So
Very nice.
yeah, it was worth the money I put into it. Absolutely
Very
love
nice.
it. I have another topic as well. What is your favorite moving company?
Favorite moving company?
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I, and my father-in-law, because he has moved us cross country, back across country, and then back to this Commonwealth. So, shout out to my father-in-law.
I don't really particularly care for moving companies. I like loaders and unloaders, but that's just a crapshoot. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But yeah, as far as actual full service moving companies, I don't know if I ever had a great experience with them. They're fine at best.
I had a really good experience with the moving company that we used, and not sponsored or anything. It was Big Blue Sky Moving Company. They did an amazing job for us when we moved. We had them do all the heavy stuff. Dude, they were phenomenal. Literally, my back would have been screwed if it wasn't for them. They moved every heavy piece of anything for us. I was going more for like the ones that are paid for by, maybe an employer that would help you with moving.
Yeah, well, and I'm not belittling your move by saying this. Cross town move, much different than cross country move.
Oh, I understand that one completely.
That's where there's a lot more room for frustration when stuff has to go into storage, when stuff gets brought out of storage. when only a third of your stuff arrives from storage and you then have to fight the company to go back and find the rest of your crap. The very first move we had from like our college town to our first duty station, I was in class and they show up and my wife's panicking, calling me and saying, "Hey, they said they're done and we have like a quarter of our stuff."
Mm-hmm.
We had a couch like section. That was our entire couch. They brought was one section. They brought our box springs, but not our mattress. Like,
Well, that's awesome.
you're just like, are you kidding me? And they're like, no, this is it. And they wanted her to sign off saying that they were done. And I'm like, absolutely not. Do not sign anything. I had to get out. I had to like skip class for a few minutes and go call and yell at the people. So yeah, not a lot of great experiences. Okay experiences at best.
Yeah, I'm just saying local moves, Northern
Yeah,
Kentucky.
the government contractors are.
Yeah.
I was just saying
Go ahead.
local move, Northern Kentucky. It was worth the money.
Well, yeah. So hey, good shout out
I
to
know
the
the
local
DoD
business.
is trying to revamp their stuff.
But
Apparently,
I
I'm
was like,
lagging really bad. So
you're like, really, no. Well, yeah, we love to give shout outs to local businesses. So, that's a good one there. But I think that's going to wrap us up. We have rambled on long enough for tonight. So, closing thoughts, gentlemen?
I just hope the Trey Hendrickson drama ceases soon. I don't even care about the other stuff. Just Trey needs to either get signed or just move on.
Bernsey?
no, go ahead. I'll close this out.
Okay, so I'll let Bernsey close out. He's probably got something cool as I had anyway. But yeah, just enjoy baseball season while the Reds are still relevant. Hopefully they stay relevant. If you don't cheer for the Reds, I really don't care if you like baseball season or not. So there you go. And go Bengals when we actually have football again. Now we're all awkwardly staring at each.
Is it my turn? Can I?
You.
Usually, like, all right, now you can go. So, all right, I'm just gonna speak, and you all just gotta be quiet. All right. So if you don't already, go follow us, follow, subscribe, YouTube, Twitter, or X now, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTokies, whatever you want to use, whatever social media platform you use or don't use, make one and follow us because we need more following. Second thing, my final thoughts. I would say that Trey, every move you make, I'll be watching you. And with that, I bid you all a good night and an adieu. Hooday.
Hooday.